Hey, lovely lawyer people. So, I have finally got around to getting my podcast up and running. You see, it's very easy to talk to people one on one, but launching a podcast, well, let's just say it has been quite daunting for me. So, hi, my name is Jenny, and I am passionate about helping law firms run efficiently and cost effectively. I especially love helping law firms to automate processes and to focus their attention more on their business, not just on getting things done, which, of course, automation helps to bring about. Everything on this podcast will be about just that, helping law firms run more efficiently and cost effectively, automating tedious routine processes to improve productivity, reduce costs, and to increase revenue. You might be wondering who this podcast series is for. Well, there'll be something for everyone and everyone involved with lawyers and law firms. Whether you're a lawyer in a big law firm considering on going out on your own and needing some ideas on how to get started, or lawyers and support staff in big law firms looking for innovative ways to increase revenue and decrease cost. Even solo and small law firms and their support staff looking to be more competitive, or just to be part of an awesome community that is learning and growing. All are welcome. So while I have a lot of experience in running law firms and in running other businesses too, which I love sharing with people, I also love to learn new things. Learning new things brings innovation, although sometimes that new thing may not work for you, but use it, don't use it. It's important to keep learning so that you do find those things that work for you and create a competitive advantage for yourself or for your firm, or both. Learning new things, and especially new ways of doing things better, faster, more efficiently, can be learned through loads of reading. But by using this podcast platform, I plan to interview people who will add value on how to run law firms better and engage with you, the listeners, to debate issues around this topic and to let you share your nuggets that you've learned on your journey. Lawyers have way too much reading to do, so this podcast aims to be a much easier way to learn. You can listen in the car while you're stuck in the traffic, or catch up when you have your lunch, or you just want to take a quiet moment out. Each week there'll be an episode on a topic guaranteed to have takeaways to help law firms run their practices better. And we'll keep the episodes short and full of info so that you get maximum bang for your time. Along the way, I'm sure we will identify topics that you would like to delve deeper into, and we can put together workshops on those topics for those interested in having a deeper dive. To engage with me and the community, join us on the links below, or you can also email me directly on jenny@driverevenue.net. I'm really excited to travel this path with you, and I look forward to engaging with you and the guests over the next few weeks. This first series will be a weekly podcast every Thursday, which will end on the 14th of December in time to close for the summer holidays, and the next series will pick up again on the 11th of January next year. Okay, so a little bit more about me. Where does my experience come from? Well, as an undergraduate Bachelor of Commerce student, I worked in the finance department of big commercial organizations and eventually ended up in a firm of chartered accountants. It was in 1982, frustrated with manually preparing trial balances, income statements, and balance sheets from ledgers, that I taught myself to use a Wang mini computer at the accounting firm I worked for to process my clients' books. And a love affair with computer systems and processes was born. So much so that I changed my Bachelor of Commerce track to a Bachelor of Information Systems from the Chartered Accountant track. And for the next 30 years, I gutted businesses, large and small, implemented new business systems, trained users, and honed business processes. And I had loads of fun doing it. There is nothing better for me than helping other people work smarter, not harder. It was only when my husband, a lawyer, decided to go into practice for himself in 2012 that I got involved in what law firms' business system requirements are. And I have loved solving the challenges that law firms face ever since then. What really helped me to tackle these challenges, as it had done so many times before in the past with new business types that I had no experience with, was exactly that: no experience. So when you have no experience, you ask the stupid questions, the dumb questions, like, why do you do it like that? Many times, the answer to that question is, that's how it's done in law firms. But the wonderful thing about having no experience with how it's done in law firms is that you can look at a process with fresh eyes, questioning how something can be done better, and bring experience from other businesses that can provide insight into how things can be done differently. If that works for the law firm, great. If not, there's no need to change for the sake of change. But with all the pressure that there is on the legal profession in terms of competition from alternate legal service providers, such as banks and insurance companies, and also paralegal firms which are springing up all over, the sensitivity of clients to hourly rates and the like, it is important to constantly evaluate how to work smarter and not harder to earn the same, or better yet, more income. AI also provides some really interesting opportunities, as does the notion of commoditizing some of the services that law firms provide. I will never forget the roaring debates about the cost of music CDs in the 90s. Let's say back then a blank CD cost R1 and a CD with Queen's latest album on it cost R150. People were asking why they were being ripped off. Of course, the question is that the music that Queen made didn't just magically arrive on a CD, a R1 CD at that. There's the cost of recording studios, marketing and distribution, and of course, the compensation for the artists too. So this analogy is pretty much the same for the provision of legal services, because clients or consumers of legal services ask these questions. Why does it cost so much? Surely this is just something that you've done before. But how do you commoditize that so that there's that value that is still perceived by the consumer? So these are complex issues and things that many people in the legal profession around the world are trying to solve. And I do believe that collaborating and talking to people and creating this community group and having these debates and these discussions helps to create that innovation. And so addressing these issues, workplace wellness, for example, how to reduce costs and increase revenue, are just some of the many topics that will be covered in this podcast series. So for this first series, we have loads of special episodes planned which are geared towards covering accounting and bookkeeping issues, such as VAT, bank records, billing, and more, since we're nearing the financial year end. And then next week, we have a very special guest who is Ian Black, who's a chartered accountant and owner of Acute Accountants. And we'll be discussing next week the ups and downs of that dreaded time of year here in South Africa for law firms that's just passed, the trust audit. Listen in next week to get Ian's professional perspective on the common issues found when performing trust audits and how to best prepare for audit so that you're not caught off guard. Till then, be open, be happy, and I'll catch you next week.